everyone. My name is Patrick Domer, and I'd like to welcome everyone to this special edition of Chat. Chat stands for Community Hub for the Assistive Technology, and it's also Global Accessibility Awareness Day. #GAAD, if anyone is on Twitter. We have 4 speakers today that are going to talk about assistive technology. And then we're going to open the floor to Q&A. So I suppose we'll go straight in with our first speaker. And our first speaker is Laura from Enable Ireland.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Yeah. Hear you, Laura.
Good, thanks, good.
Right, Laura, I told everyone you're from Enable Ireland. Can I just ask you what assistive technology you use today, every day?
I use a program called JAWS. It's a screen reading software, and it reads out emails, text emails, and reads out things on Microsoft Word and all of that kind of thing.
How easy is that to operate, Laura?
Sorry?
Is that easy enough to operate that program?
Yeah, it is. It's very accessible for different things. Yeah, I use it for everything basically, because without it I wouldn't be able to make my way around the computer. So I do that, and then I have another thing called Alexa, and she helps me with. She helps me to do my spellings because I'm writing a book at the moment. So she helps me with that, and she helps me when I'm doing started doing music lessons.
I add Topsy when I'm doing it to your shopping list.
Alexa, stop.
Anything else?
Alexa, stop.
So she can do everything you say.
Well, it kind of does when you want it to. Yeah, it would spell out words for me when I'm typing in my book, and when I wanted to play different music for me, it does it for me, yeah. And it'll tell me the weather and everything really that I wanted to do.
Sorry, Laura, you sound pretty busy. You're writing a book and you're producing music.
I am, yeah. I've got I'm writing a book about my life, so it's really, really busy and going well. And yeah, and just last year, I recorded a few years ago. I wrote a song called "This Is My Family" with a fella called Alan Kavanagh, and he was on The Voice of Ireland a few years ago. But I only found out through a friend about him, so we wrote a song together, and it's called "This Is My Family," and it's on Spotify and YouTube and every music platform you can think of. And then in the lockdown, I wrote another song with another fella called Fia Moriarty, and that one is called "Me and My Friends," and that's on all the music websites as well. So I've been really busy.
And I was also privileged to hear your music. It was pretty nice.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's really it. Really, I've been just really, really busy, and also I have the iPhone 5 West, which I'm going to update myself in about a week or two. I'm going to get the iPhone SE for myself. But the iPhone has a feature on it called VoiceOver, and that reads out all my text messages and my emails on it, and I can watch videos on it as well and all that kind of thing. So it's really handy.
You're pretty organized.
I tried to be. Yeah. So
you get by with using JAWS, and I'm not going to say the name of the other thing because that'll probably answer me. Yeah. No, I do. They're very good. They're very, very helpful. I didn't think I would use the other. I'm not going to say her name because she'll start talking again. But I got her, and I've been so happy because she helps me with my music and my book and different things like that. So I am delighted that I got it. And do you think you're gonna release any more music with using your assistive technology that you have? Yeah, it does. So, sorry, Porrick. Sorry, can you repeat that question, please? Sorry, Laura. Do you think you're gonna release any more music using your assistive technology? I am. I can't say when yet because I'm working on some music at the moment. But yeah, I am going to get more music out there. Yeah, I just I'm not taking up anybody's time, but I just wanted to tell you that I struggled with my life with my disability for a good number of years, and then I just looked up how to write songs on the internet, and I got a girl that I know through a website. So I got talking to her, and she put me in contact with Fiach and with Alan. So they helped me to write the songs, and I thought, I can do this. This is not hard to do. And so that's how I got writing my songs, and I haven't looked back, and I've been really happy since. So it's gotten me out of a dark hole. That's all I can say. So can I have your autograph before you become more famous? I will indeed, yeah. No problem. Thank you. You're welcome. Do you use any other AP during the day, Laura, or is it mainly them two items? Mainly them two items on my phone as well, for my phone for the text messages and different things like that. All right. Yeah. That's really it. Lovely talking to you. Thank you. Do you want to give us a demonstration of that person you don't want to mention? Yeah, I can. Alexa, volume 5. Alexa, what is the weather in Tallaght and Dublin today?
Currently, in Tallaght it's 12 degrees Celsius with cloudy skies. Today, you can expect rainy weather with a high of 12 degrees and a low of 7 degrees.
Alexa, play Spotify.
Here's Spotify.
We do this right, so nothing's ever gonna move it when the bones are good. The rest
Alexa, stop. That's just my little demonstration of the Alexa. Yeah. Good, Laura. I was going to show a video of how JAWS works because I can't do a demonstration with the JAWS because unfortunately, whatever way it's set up on my laptop, it doesn't come out over the speaker. But I'm not entirely sure how to share with Zoom. So, but I'm sure there are videos of it on YouTube and different things like that. If you're interested in having a look and see how the Zoom, how the JAWS works. Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Thank you. Thank you.
I learned a lot and your music is pretty good.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Think I'll go on to the second speaker if that's okay. I think I asked you enough questions. Or do you want to talk some more, Laura?
No, that's all right. No, that's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Is Owen with us? Owen's from Donegal and he's a software developer, and I believe Owen has the video he wants to show us. The Owen.
Guys, thanks for having me. My name is Owen McGurr. I founded a company called Inapo. It is just me. I develop AAC products for mobile phones and tablets. As you can see, I use AAC. I use my flagship product, Say It, which is available for iPhone and iPad. I developed it because I wanted to have complete control over what I was using. I have tweaked and perfected it since 2016. I have added feature upon feature. I believe that it is a worthy choice for anyone who requires text-based AAC. I started using AAC when I was 4, and I just took to it. It was like a new lease on life. The ability to express what you want is a fundamental part of life. It is a right. AAC provides us with all the tools to do this. We just have to find the best tools for our own individual needs. Whether it is symbol or text-based AAC, the user should always be the one to make the decision, not the speech therapist, not the parents, the user. First, let me really drive home that point. The AAC product and the user should be at one with each other. What I mean by that is, the user should instinctively know where everything is. You want to be able to answer questions as quickly as possible. You want to be as normal as possible. About a month ago, I was having issues with my debit card, and the bank would not talk to anyone except me. Luckily, a couple of months ago, I introduced the ability to make phone calls with Say It, and I was able to create a phrase board with how I thought the conversation would go. I was able to say that I would require time to type the answers to specific questions, and they were really understanding. It was really empowering to be able to do something so important without any help whatsoever. So yeah, I made my first ever phone call to a stranger at the age of 26. It is imperative that we do everything we can to ensure that every person who needs to be able to do that has access to the technology. I was lucky enough to always be interested in the technology. Some people are just happy to go through life not even looking at what the world has to offer in terms of help. And while that may be their prerogative, it is not right. And I know that I am contradicting what I said. It is their choice, but they are giving up the opportunity of a lifetime. Literally, I have been very vocal all in my life and I have a lot to show for it. I have a son. I have my own company. I have everything I ever wanted. Because I fought for it. I spoke up. I would like to talk about my app. I created something magnificent in my view. However, I am not a speech therapist. I have no training in the field of AAC. Well, you know, besides 20 years of use. I will be the first to say that it is not perfect. However, I feel like the market is kind of unfair. Speech therapists have their favorite taps, and they do not change, despite the fact that there may be a slightly lesser known better alternative. we are not here to talk about how speech therapists behave. This is my story, and that story is quite a long one. My life revolves around technology. Technology is irrefutably helpful to disabled people, whether it is augmentative and alternative communication or digital assistants like Google Home or Alexa. These devices can do quite a lot. They can control the lights, play something on Netflix, and even make calls. There are even studies that show that they provide company to those who need it. I use Google Home. It is my alarm in the morning, and when I eventually wake up, I can just use Say It to say stop. It is the simple things that make life easier. You know, that is what assistive technology is about. Making the most mundane tasks possible. Everybody should be able to do something small, even if it is not in the usual way. And that is what we, as the providers of assistive technology, have to really think about. What are the users going to do with that product? And what do they want? Not what do we think they want. That should be the first thing we think about when we are designing a new product. How can we make this intuitive for people and people with additional requirements? Whether it is making the text a little bit bigger or even rearranging the whole user interface. I am working on a huge new version of Say It, and I am reconsidering every aspect of the app. I think people will love it. I love it. But this is what I am saying. You have to sometimes tear it down to the bottom to rebuild something even more accessible. Being a person with a disability gives me a unique insight into this. I use my product on a daily basis so I can see the ways in which I can improve the quality of it. It is my passion. It is the most important tool in my box. It is my voice. I was asked to tell a story. There is no one event that defines how technology has impacted my life. The most recent time that it really made a big difference was at my mother's funeral. I was able to speak at it. That was a major deal for me because my mother was my advocate from day one. So the fact that I was able to do that for her meant everything. Technology is so important to everyone in the world, but it is essential for people with disabilities. It helps them stay connected, especially in the current times. For as long as I live, I hope to be able to continue creating new and exciting ways to help people in my situation. Thank you for listening.
Pretty inspiring. Well done now. I can't top that. That was brilliant. Suppose we'll just go on to the third speaker. Emma.
Hi everybody, this is my presentation.
Hi, my name is Emma. I am just beginning a new and exciting chapter in my life. I have recently moved from my family home into my own place. Today I want to share with you some of the technology I will use to support my independence.
All right. So just tell us all about the Alexa and all that, and how different your life is. All right. What can you do with it?
I can answer phone calls.
What else?
Get messages.
Oh, please. And can you turn on and off the lights?
Yeah.
And you can make phone calls and listen to the radio and
Yeah.
what? And are you happy? But and tell me how happy with the Alexa and all the technology. But tell me, regards that are you happy since you moved into the place? Are you happier? Yeah. Good. I'm glad. Because that's all people care about, isn't it? Your happiness, isn't it? Yeah.
Alexa, pound our Dempsey.
Calling Laura Dempsey's Alexa devices. Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello, Laura, how are you? Alexa, answer.
No?
Hi, Laura. Alexa, open plastic is.
Ireland's classic hits from TuneIn.
There you go.
Okay.
Turn light off.
Okay. Oh? Ah, there.
Hey, Thoric, can you hear us okay?
Sorry, Sean.
Did that play okay, Thoric?
No, but we got the gist of it. They put like ringing up Lord on the Alexa. That was pretty good. So you can do your light, you can turn off and on your light, you can turn on and off your lights on your own.
Yeah.
And you can ring people on your own.
Yeah.
And do you really like Alexa? How are you finding Alexa, Emma?
I'm getting frustrated for the first time, boys.
You're getting frustrated?
Again?
At the start, Emma said, Thoric.
Oh, and now it's okay, isn't it, Emma?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've done a great job, Emma. Well done. Are you happy with yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've done a brilliant job.
Thank you.
Emma said, thanks a lot, Thoric.
Okay, you're welcome, Emma. Well done. Can I go into the next speaker now? The next speaker is Alan. Alan, you're from the Central Media Clinic, the CRC, aren't you? You're on mute, Alan.
I am from Hartstown Activity Centre.
All right, very good. Can I ask you a few questions, Alan?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Can you tell us what technology you used before lockdown?
I haven't really used much technology before lockdown, but since lockdown came in, I felt it was a lonely place and I really missed my friends and my day activity centre. So then technology became a daily need for me.
I know, yeah. How did technology get you? How did you get over loneliness with technology? Sorry, how did technology help you get over the loneliness?
My mum helped me to use my iPhone and laptop, and I got connected with everyone at the day center on Zoom. Zoom became the new age. Thanks to the technology of Zoom, I started to feel part of the community again. And it was a breath of fresh air to see all my friends and how technology helped us. Connecting instantly, and I felt part of the group. We now do 3 to 4 classes every day: drama, brain training, advocacy, exercise classes, yoga, mindfulness, movies, and quizzes.
And you enjoy them all, you enjoy doing all them, don't you?
Oh, I do. They keep me going.
That's good. What was the biggest challenge for you, Alan?
Technology was new to us all, and we had to learn as we went along. But Wi-Fi connections were sometimes a big issue. It just kept on breaking down. But I think we have that under control now.
Yeah. What was the best opportunity that technology gave you, Alan?
Being able to be present here today with all you wonderful people. It's one of the best things I can think of. But it was a piece of work I completed with my friend during an online drama class. We wrote a poem together about COVID-19. And we were supported to turn it into a video to see how we were feeling about our situation.
All right. Is there any chance we could see that video, Alan?
I go on then. Roll it there, Roisin.
Very good. Someone have the video.
Changing Times by Darren Cray and Alan Melvin. Once upon a time in the world there was light. On a glorious day it was shining. But then out of the shadows, a dark and desperate disease called COVID-19. It spread all over the world and took our independence away. Devastating as that may seem, along came Zoom and brightened our day. By keeping us close and our friendships got warmer. We all had to stay together by staying apart. But we still see one another, just in a different light. We've struggled, we've laughed, danced and even cried over bad Wi-Fi connection. But always we'd find a way to keep in touch with the world that was dwindling away. As difficult as this may seem, there's no need, as someday there may be a vaccine.
That was brilliant, Alan. Well done.
Thank you very much.
I
thank you from all of us that had part of it.
It was very good. Well done now. I have one last question, Alan. How do you see yourself using technology in the future?
I would love to have a blended service both in the centre and on classes on Zoom. I would love to have an opportunity to stay connected with all my friends and access the services through Zoom, wherever I am, whether at home in Dublin or spending time down in Wexford during the summer. I am looking forward to being able to access services from different locations.
Very good. So do you like going down to Wexford?
Yeah, we have a house down there and it's sort of that bit nicer than our house in Dublin, so I love it.
That's good.
And we've Wi-Fi down there too.
All right, so when you go down to Wexford, you can still be on Zoom?
Oh yeah, totally.
That's good.
That's one of the best parts of it.
That's good. Yeah, very good, Alan. I have no more questions. Well done, all the speakers. Well done, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Can I just open the floor to any questions from anyone else? Lisa?
Hey, Padraig, how are you?
Okay. I recognise your voice.
Remember seeing you? I was in the Inclusion Island with you.
Yeah.
I have a question for Owen about the apps.
Yes.
Owen, I'm just wondering, are you making an app for Android? No, I can't read that.
Leave that.
It was available for Android at a time. However, nobody really was using it, and it was so much work to maintain two separate code bases, so it just kind of died. I still have the code, so you never know. I have no plans for Windows.
Does that answer your question, Lisa?
Yeah, that's grand with me. Thank you.
Thank you, Owen.
Thanks, Owen.
Anyone else with questions?
Sorry, Porrick. There's a question in the chat and then somebody has their hand up, I think. So the question in the chat is from Trish McHugh, and she's wondering if you find it easy to get information on what is available. And I presume, Trish, that's in terms of AT, but if you'd like to ask the question verbally, you can, if that's not clear. And I presume that's to anybody.
So who wants to answer the question? Alan?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What was it again? Sorry, I was drifting there a bit.
That's fine. It was, do you find it easy to get information on what assistive technology or accessible technology is available?
Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah, I suppose so. But we talked to our manager at the centre, and he more or less knows everything.
That's great. That's great to hear. Thank you, Alan. Well done to all the presenters.
Did that answer your question, Trish?
Yeah, I was just wondering. Yes, thanks, Porrick. It does. Just wondering, do people find it easy? Thank you.
Thanks, Alan.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Stuart.
Hi there, Porrick. Great session and well done to all the speakers. Owen, I suppose that it's always interesting to talk to an inventor and to hear all the great stuff you're doing. And I suppose I was just wondering what's next on your radar? What are we going to see in a year's time, maybe from you? And where's it all going? Might be a very big question, but be interesting to get some feedback.
Brilliant question.
I am going to get the new version out and then we will see.
Brilliant. Thanks very much.
Well done, Alan. Good question, Stuart.
Okay. Yes, I was wondering, do you get any financial support for assistive technology?
Who's that too? Sorry.
Sorry?
Martin, who's that question too, or is it just for anyone?
Yeah, to anyone.
Laura, do you want to take this?
Tap on your mic there, Laura.
Because Alan and Owen answered the question, so I'm just going to do it in rotation. Laura, you're on mute. We can't hear you, Laura.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. It depends really on the item that you get, how big or how small it is. Well, this is the case for me anyway, because if it's small enough, it's not that expensive. But if the bigger it is more expensive. So it's kind of like it is. I can't remember what's called that. Can't remember what the grant is called. It's a special name anyway. And then you can apply for it, and you might be lucky to get something, and then you might not be so lucky. It's like a lucky dip, as they say, a draw. Yeah. Yeah.
And this the same actually for the Wi-Fi, as Alan said, kind of the Wi-Fi was very, very important. Do you have any kind of, can you demand that your kind of Wi-Fi is what you call kind of getting, well, I'm not an IT expert, as you hear, faster to be able to really use most of what you,
sorry, is that
what you need.
Me again?
I said, do you have any can you ask for kind of the Wi-Fi kind of updated for your places? Because as Alan said, it's so important to have Wi-Fi to be able to use. I mean, I live very remote, and yeah, my Wi-Fi goes up and down like a yo-yo. Can you kind of, if you're so dependent on using AT, do you have the right to ask to update it?
That depends as well, really, because we've been trying to update it here for a while, and it hasn't done so well. But I'm sure if you do ask if it's a special thing that you really need it for, like you'd really depend on your Wi-Fi and your AT equipment, I'm sure there should be something out there for you to be able to update your Wi-Fi. And I hope I've answered the question right.
Yeah, no, that's fine, kind of. I just thought asking because I know kind of different people struggle. I mean, especially now during COVID, everybody has struggled with conferences on Zoom and kind of Wi-Fi going here and there.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for that.
No problem.
Thanks, Gordon. Well answered, Laura.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Any more questions? Owen mentioned it. Yeah, that's Owen mentioned.
There was a question just there about what was the app that Owen has invented and built, and it's called Say It. And, Carl has also kindly put the link in the chat as well for anybody who wants to check it out there.
Carl is brilliant.
I think Carl has a question as well. Do you, Carl?
Hi, yeah. So no, I just wanted to ask Owen. It's a bit of a techie one, I suppose. What IDE or what software editor development environment he used to develop his app? I'm kind of more interested in the accessibility of it, I suppose, for him as a Switch user.
I use Xcode, which is the default iOS IDE. I just find it to be the best option.
Very good. Thanks, Owen.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
I use the grid to access the Mac with TeamViewer.
Interesting. That's very interesting, Owen. Yeah. So I suppose the grid is software. It only works on a Windows operating system. So what Owen is doing is he's using TeamViewer, which is a remote desktop support kind of control app, and he's using the grid on a Windows computer and TeamViewer to program on a Mac. Am I right, Owen? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Well done.
Here's a man, and nothing will stop this man, I think.
He's going to take your job next, Carl.
Oh, jeez. He doesn't want my job. He's got bigger things, I'd say.
You know, nice to see you, everyone. Do you know the MBD and the JAWS? Do they just read emails, or can it be anything, like for college or whatever?
That question's to you, Laura.
Yeah, you can read anything. There's the PDF files. It finds it a bit hard to read them. You have to it'll tell you to go to the top of the page, so you have to tab up at the top of the page. But it does read most things fairly well for you. I found it very easy to navigate with, and it's just a lot of learning if you're starting off with it. But yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry, Laura, would you get funding for that, or where would you find it?
Yeah, you would get funding for it. I think you've got to go through the HSE or a HSE thing. It's that grant that I was talking about earlier. I'm not too sure of the name of it.
Okay.
Maybe if somebody would like to jump in there and say what the grant is called, because I'm not too sure the name of it.
Sorry, I'm just wondering, was it True Aids and Appliances, Laura?
Yeah, that's the one. I couldn't think of it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a generalised pot of money that the HSE have. That pretty much everything is paid for. So things like wheelchairs and postural aids tend to take priority, unfortunately. So things like assistive technology often get pushed down the priority list. But yeah,
there is another grant, isn't there, Julianne? Just for IT, I think.
Is there one specifically for technology for visual impairment? I think I could be wrong in saying that.
I think there might be. I'm not too sure on that one.
Yeah. Again, depending on where you are, like there is grants out there for workplace equipment grants. There is the Department of Education and the Higher Education Authority also have grants if you're in education for technology to do with that side of things as well.
Thank you.
Does that answer your question, Sarah?
Yeah.
That's good. Well done, Laura, with a bit of help from Julianne.
Yeah, thanks for that. Porrick, would it be okay if I asked Stuart the question?
Yeah, go for it, Laura.
If you're still there, Stuart. And you know how I was talking about my music earlier on?
Yes.
I know, I have heard through the grapevine that you're great on the piano. Have you any little tips for me?
I'll never believe all the things you hear, first of all. Especially, I mean, I think actually, Laura, it sounds like you've done a lot more than I've ever done with music. You've got things on Spotify and YouTube and all that. So I think the best thing I can say is keep doing what you're doing, because clearly you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, it's just I'm learning to play the keyboard, and I'm learning to play other people's songs as well as my own. But it's a very tricky thing when you can't really see the keyboard and you're trying to remember all the keys.
Yeah, it sounds to me that you know, given what you've been saying today, you know, you've been writing your own music. You must have a good ear, so that's definitely half the battle already. And the rest is just, as with any other instrument or learning anything new, is just practice and getting regular time to do it.
Yeah, that's very true.
Best of luck with it all.
Thank you. That's a great answer. Thank you, sir.
Alan trying to say something. You're on mute, Alan.
Laura.
Yeah.
May I suggest if you put maybe a little bit of Velcro on certain keys for yourself, and it might make it easier to play if you can feel.
Very good, Alan.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
question?
Laura.
Yeah.
Alan's not even going to charge you for that tip.
Oh, no. Where do you get the checkbook?
Brilliant. How are you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
My name is Hubert from Muscular Dystrophy Ireland, and I just wanted to make a comment. Well done, everybody. Good, great presentation. But I'd just like to make one comment. I'm not sure if people are aware. There's actually a grant which can be available for people who are asking about funding. Any pieces of equipment you buy, doesn't matter what it is, whether it be for technology or for even home appliances or anything at all. There's actually a grant you can get from the I had it here in front of me now a minute ago. It's let me get it up again. Just 1 second. Yeah, it's a claim for refund on VAT, value-added tax, which is chargeable on aids and appliances for the use by disabled people under the value-added tax scheme. So just want to let you know that anything you buy, if you can prove that, if you download that form from the revenue website, basically, and just you can actually claim the VAT back, which might happen. That's people don't realise that if you're buying Alexas, if you're buying laptops, if you're buying any types of equipment at all, like which would help you to make your life more independent, be it technology or otherwise, you can actually just go onto the revenue website and download that form, and you can claim the VAT back. So I just thought it'd be handy for people to know that.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. For me personally, I didn't know that. So
yeah, a lot of people with disabilities don't realise that. Yeah, but even if you can only use it for buying a phone as well. If you can prove that you can't communicate, effectively without a phone because of a disability, it's essential that you have that to be able to. For phones, for laptops, for Alexas, for any sort of home assistive technology. But it doesn't only have to be for assistive technology. It can also be for things like, if you needed a new chair to sit on, or if you needed, stuff that you hate, stuff that your medical care won't cover you for, but you need to buy it. Once you can put a letter with that to say that you need this piece of equipment to enable you to have a better quality of life.
I also believe you can get a grant for such things as building maybe a shower or that.
Yeah, well, that would be separate. Like, yeah. But for more, I'm just more talking about little small devices. Like, obviously, if you're getting grants for building extensions or for shower units or any alterations with your house, that would be a different grant available. But just for small pieces of equipment, for small pieces of equipment, which people will be buying all the time, and they don't claim the VAT back on when you should be able to claim it back. So just like to all know that.
That's pretty interesting, Hubert.
No worries. No worries.
Sorry about that, Hubert.
You're grand, Alan. Don't worry. Hubert. Is Hubert gone?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm here, yeah.
Hubert, there's a question in the chat. Someone does, is the name of that form, buildings and services?
It's called the claim for refund. I put the name of the form up in the chat. I put the name of the form up in the chat, but it's called it's claim for refund on VAT chargeable on aids and appliances for use by people with disabilities under the VAT refund of tax. I put the name of the form on the chat, and then you basically go to the revenue website and you find it there somewhere. Yeah. I do put the name of the form anyway, and then you can, if you Google that, you should be able to find it on the revenue website.
And can I just add to that? Thanks very much, Hubert, for mentioning it. But Free on Sight and Sound are actually going to be launching an online survey within the next few weeks on the very subject of VAT, because we do hear from people that it can be a real deterrent, that, you know, reclaiming the VAT is possible, but just it's you have to pay it up front, and that adds an extra 23%.
That's true, yeah.
Of the item. So we're just embarking on that. So we will be contacting everyone, and anyone who has bought any item of assistive technology themselves. We'd really appreciate it if you could participate in the survey. Okay, so very timely, and thank you for mentioning it, Hubert.
Well done, Hubert.
About it.
Irene, you have another question there in relation to speech to text. Would you like to ask it?
Yes. Does kind of speech to text kind of technology or apps, do they adjust to your own voice? I mean, I've tried a bit, and you hear I'm a foreigner, I'm not native English speaker, and of course I get all kind of funny words out of it. But do they, after a while, kind of also like Alexis and Siri, do they recognize your own voice and getting more specific with it?
Mm-hmm.
Depends on the one you're using, Irene, really. Dragon, I think you can train to understand your own voice quite better because it's local, whereas Siri and Alexa are kind of online services and you wouldn't be able to personalize them as much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
It's not an app, it's just a voice recorder on my computer when because my hands aren't brilliant, so I just speak the email. If instead of typing an email, I just speak it with my normal voice. I don't have to train it or do anything.
Right. Because I'm working with people who kind of can't read, so they can't actually see if the text is right afterwards. And sometimes kind of their speech is fast, and as I said, I've kind of just tried to do it with my own. And I was wondering if they after a while get used to persons. But your own Carl answered that. As I said, I have so little clue about IT, but I'm interested to kind of.
Sorry, Patrick. I have an iPhone.
Right.
You should go into your accessibility app, put your own language in it. Say if you're from Brazil or Ukraine or anything, you should have up on the speech select the app on the device, the sound. The iPhone.
Yes, I found that, but then if I want to kind of with my voice talk in English, and as I said, I work with other people where I would like to enable them to use it more because I can't read and write. And I just kind of tried it for myself and realized, obviously with an accent, it's not always recognizing, but of course I would want to recognize it when I speak English.
And there's another app on the phone you can get to help you with the white text. What is it say? I think it's Grammarly.
Grammarly, yeah. So
Grammarly, yeah. That's why I use all the time for my correct word. I don't know, you're laughing at.
Okay.
I think Catherine has an answer as well for you there if you want to jump in there, Catherine.
That's good though. Thanks, Patrick.
Thanks.
Sorry, was that me you were talking to there?
Yeah, sorry, you just put it in the chat. If you if you could follow up with that would be great.
Hi there. Yeah, no, I've looked a lot at the text to speech. It's certainly gotten better over the years. So I've been following the AT, and particularly the free and the inbuilt ones now that are coming up in the G Suite and also in the Microsoft Word. Most, I feel your pain, the speaker who was talking, because I've worked a lot with students that have come from different countries, you know, working who may use dictation apps. And I found myself, I could never get the text to speech to work. Female voices have had some difficulties, and I actually speak quite quickly myself, but most of them now are using AI-based, artificial intelligence-based, and it is simply a matter of time and patience often with using them. They do train and they do learn over time with your voice, but the top tip with using text-to-speech is, and even if you're using your phone as well, is to use a headset, a decent headset, and try to avoid background noise as much as possible. And time and patience it is a lot, and persevere once you find one that is starting to work for you. I'm afraid that most of them won't work straight away. A lot of people give up on them, I find, early, which is not a great answer if you need it to work quickly. But I do encourage people to be patient with them.
Yeah.
So.
No, I think that answer is good, because I have given up too quickly then, obviously. When kind of the people I'm working
me too.
with, they kind of, it didn't work, and then so we left it, and I kind of assumed obviously it's not working, but obviously, yes, needs a bit more patience and perseverance
Don't
to
give
get
up,
on.
keep at it.
Yeah, no, don't give up. And they are improving. I would say, have seen a huge difference in, say, even 5 years ago. I needed to use one myself. I found it very difficult returning to the same application. It has improved, and I was amazed how much better it was. It's the one actually embedded in Office 365. I find just works for me now, and I use it routinely. So it is, things are improving, but it's again the time, patience, and if you can slow down, it does help. So.
Thanks for that. Was very helpful.
Hi, I just have one question for Laura. Laura, how do you play the piano? Because I'd love to learn how to play it, but I don't know how to play it.
Laura?
I also use an iPad all the time, as in for technology and everything. It's kind of like my computer. I use the iPad for everything.
And that suits your need. You're able to use the iPad, no problem. I am.
Yeah, I use the iPad for all my technology as my computer. I don't use a computer, like I use the iPad as my computer.
All right.
But I was just going to ask Laura, how does she play the piano? Because I'd love to learn how to play it.
I think she's just dropped
Is Laura still there?
I think she may have just dropped off, Porrick, I'm afraid.
Okay. Sorry about that, Emma. Laura's not here.
That's okay. I just said I'd ask that question.
No, you're good.
What communication apps would you use?
Well, I use Facebook and Instagram and Facebook, Instagram, and all, like WhatsApp, voice recognition, Siri all the time.
And what do you find best out of them three?
Well, I find Siri and WhatsApp and Facebook and Instagram doesn't really it doesn't really talk back yet, but you know, when it upgrades, I'm hoping it'll, you know, have the voice recognition on it, but it hasn't yet, but I'm hoping it will in time.
Good. That's good.
You know,
because I found that very ridiculous. Like I was on the what's called Android, and then I moved on to iOS.
Yeah, but I use the voice recognition all the time to speak back to me and everything, because I can't read, you see. So I use the voice recognition for everything.
That's what I use.
Oh.
And do you ever try that new app I just had to send 5 minutes ago? What is it?
What was the name again? Sorry, I couldn't.
Lisa, you said it was called Grumpy, didn't you?
Yeah, you use that for if you can't do your words properly, it cracks your words for you. That's what I use now.
Oh, great! Because I never knew there was an app called. I never knew there was a new app for, learning how to help you with words. I never knew there was an app for it.
So if you say, "How are you today?" and you type it, I'll do for example. Hold on, I'll show you.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Sorry, Sarah.
Thank you.
Right, are we finishing up, Sarah? I just want to thank all the speakers and the people that asked the questions and the organisers and the people that attended the webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Take care. Bye.
And just before we do wrap up, we are going to be having another chat on the 3rd of June, so put the date in your diary, where we're going to be looking at sustainability of online supports. And also, Joan O'Donnell is one of the leaders of Freedom Tech, and Joan is currently, as part of her PhD, is going to have a World Cafe coming up, and she's, of course, looking for some of you guys to join in. So this will be looking at support staff, so any support staff. Or am I right, Joan?
Yeah, that's right, Sarah. So in this first round, I'm going to have a World Cafe on the 30th of June with managers and support staff. And then we'll be following up later with AT users yourselves. So please there'll be an email going out from Sarah around this, and please, I'm just popping the money, the information, no money, sorry, in the chat for anybody who wants to email me directly.
So Joan, if it's a cafe, do we get a free cup of coffee?
I so wish, Porrick, and I look forward to the day when we're actually all back in situ, availing of somebody's gorgeous food like chats that we've become used to over the years. So that'll be some massive reunion, and it's not too long off now. And so there's some other questions just in the chat. Imogen, for example, is asking a question. And please email us afterwards if there's anything that you haven't had answered today, because specific situations, it's probably easier to figure a way through maybe offline. Is that okay? But thank you to the 4 speakers from me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And also a special hi to Hubert, whom I haven't seen for a long time, and who was bang on with his question about VAT. Nice one.
Yeah.
Because we will be doing a survey on that. It's something we're very, very interested in, making sure people don't have to pay.
Good to see you too, Joan.
Patrick.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah, Lisa.
Bye, everybody.
See you, Emma.
Thanks, Emma.
Bye, everyone.
Great stuff.
Bye, Emma.
Thank you.
Bye, Emma.
Everyone.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye, Porrick. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Hey, Alan, thanks.
See you. God bless.
Bye,
Emma.
Well done, Emma.
And a final last shout out. Thank you very much to the amazing Porrick Dormer for leading out on today's interview.
Nice one, Porrick. Good work.
Well done, Porrick.
Well done, Porrick. Fair play.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Thanks, Porrick. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Well done.
Bye, Stephen.
Bye. Bye, Emma.
Bye.
Well done, Emma.
Thank you.